Alright then, I think that it's now the time to start the webinar, because I will start making some basics. People will be able to join the webinar, and after probably 4 or 5 minutes that I have done some basic stuff, then we will start to introduce the new tools that we have released last week in the new release from MatrixGold. So I will start, and today, instead just going tool by tool and showing what is new in MatrixGold, I think that is always better to make a real model, and this is what I will do today. Alright, so I think that we will start making an earrings. Okay, so we will start first. I will go to the grid snap, and we will start with the arc. I will use the start point, and I will go from here to here, and this is the main curve that I will use. Alright, so MatrixGold, it's very good to start from just a curve. Alright, so as you can see, we have a very basic curve, but you will see what we will end up having just from a curve like this one. Okay, so from the right view, what I will do, clicking on the Alt, I will just do a copy here to 3 millimeters, and I will do now another one 2 millimeters. Alright, so now we have 3 different curves. Okay, let's start to build our earring. Okay, so you will see why I have done these curves, and I think that this will be very nice to see all the process that we use to make these earrings. And anytime that you want to go back to what all the steps that we have been doing, you will be able to follow it in our YouTube channel, where you have a lot of webinars, and you can check all that we are doing, either Bo's webinars that he's doing a lot, and there is a lot of stuff that you can learn from there, or the one that we are doing today. So with this curve, I'm gonna use the profile placer. As you know, one of the most common commands in our software. The profile placer, we have done some changes that now the directions that it takes are much better. You know that you just clicking here, you can turn it just to the degrees that you want. I will change this to one of the profiles that I already have. You know that you can make your own profiles and save them to this library. So I have this straight square that I have, and I will just make it, just say 2 millimeters, even a bit smaller, 1.7, and the height to 1.5. I will add one here and another one just here. Again, I need to rotate it 90 degrees so they are in the same direction, and I'm doing this because now I just need to go to the sweep one and make the sweep between this curve and these two profiles, and we already have now select profiles. I did something wrong with, so first I select the rail and other profiles. Alright, good to go. Let me show you the plastic. So very basic, but we have this that we will be using, you know, this base to show you some of the new tools that we have in MatrixGold. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to extract an ISO curve from here. So I will go to curve, and I will just select the extract ISO curve. As you can see, I have it here because it's the position 1. If we want to place it in the middle, we need just to click 0.5, so we will get it just in the middle. Alright, so let me move it just here, and now 0.5. So now it's just in the middle of this surface. Why I'm doing this? Because now I can get this curve and I can trim it in different parts, and so I can use different parts of this curve to make, yeah, you will see. So I will get this curve and I will trim it. I select the curve, and as you can see, it's already yellow, the part that I'm trimming. So I will go from here to here. and this is the part of the curve that I want up on the top of this piece that we have. Very important. Now I have this curve, but I want to make another part. We still have the extract that we have done is here. I just need to go to show, and again I have it back, and now I will do another trim. Alright, so now I will do it from here to here. So now we have two curves, and again I will show it again, and I will do the same. So now we have three different sections. Like this is okay. We have three different sections here. I don't need to go so low, that we can use it at any time. Alright, as you can see, I always keep all the parametric side, so it's not, I always like to say and tell to the customers that the parametric side is not to make a lot of variations of this model. Most of the times it's just in case that you need to make any little variations from this model. When the customer comes back and is asking you, you know, I need to make this little change, then very easily you can go to all the steps here and you can make the changes that you want. Alright, so what I will do next, I will just make here another profile placer, because I want to make here like a cavity. Alright, so I will just move this 90 degrees, and I will use the same one that I used before, that is this one. Very nice. Let me go to the right view, sorry, front view, and see where to place it. I will place it back here, and I will add another one at the very top, 90 degrees also, and again I will move it at the same height. Alright, so again, now what we can do is what we did before. We will just select the sweep one, and I will do it the sweep between this. Alright, so I will keep this to 0. I want a flat wall, and enter. I will try to keep you telling you different tricks that we have in MatrixGold. Now if I want to make here, I will place stones here, but I want to apply the same profiles and everything to this curve that we have here. If I need to go back to what I did before, it will take me longer. So we have another way to do it, and it's just getting the profile and this profile. So the two profiles that we have, because this is we have these profiles, and what I will do is just Control C, Control V, and you will see how I will get a new profile placer here at the very top. So I have now two profiles placer, and the only thing that I need to do is just go to edit the second one, and as you can see, we have the curve that we are using as a rail or as a path, and I would say no, I want it to this one, and now I get the same that I had here in these ones. So in just one click you get, you know, the same that you have in this one. So this is little tricks that are convenient to use, because then you go much faster. I will do the sweep one again with this profile, not this one, this profile and this profile, and very easily I got a new sweep here. Okay, alright, what I'm gonna do next is use the Boolean difference. So here we have the Boolean difference that is parametric, so we can make any change. So this is the first surface, and the second is this one and this one, so we will get here a nice cavity. As you know, anytime that we want to make it different, we can make it different. We can go to this, that is the first trim that we have done. It opens here. I can go to edit, and if I just go a bit up to the top, everything recalculates very, very easy. So this is, you know, the good thing about MatrixGold. All right, so let's gonna start with the tools that we have released. Okay, so what I want to have here, or what I want to apply, is a texture. So what I would like to have in this design is to have a texture here, then I would like to have a stones, different stones in this curve, and another texture here, all right, to have a bit of decoration and stones. So the first thing that I will do is just subselect with the Shift Control this and this, and I will do duplicate. All right, so I will click on F4 and F4, so I will keep it in the same space, and I will do the same here. All right, so not this one, subselect here and here, and again duplicate, F4, F4, that is the center, and enter. As you can see now, if I go and I select, it's telling me that it's a polysurface. I want a surface because I want to apply the texture into the same surface. All right, so I will explode this. Now I have two surfaces and I will mesh them. From the moment that I mesh the surface, you will see what I get. One surface. This is what I'm looking. This is the result that I'm looking for, because if I apply a texture, that is the tool that I'm going to show you now, in a polysurface, I will get a result with holes that this is not what I need. I will do the same here. Polysurface, explode, and then merge surface, and let me double check surface. Great. Let's gonna use this surface to apply the first, and so we introduce the first tool that we released last week on July 1st. That was, we can find it in tools, and it's called Texture 3D. Okay, so the Texture 3D allows you to apply all these different textures to any surface that you select. Just to give you a bit of information, so we work the reliefs with white and black, meaning that if there is a lot of gray, you won't get as many definition as you get if you have a lot of blacks and whites. So the software, when there is a lot of contrast, the software can see where the boundaries are, and then the relief that you get is much cleaner than if you do it with something like that is gray like this. All right, so let's gonna choose, I don't know, this one, select, and let's see what we get. As you can see now, we get here a lot of noise. This is because we have the repeats 5, so if we go probably to 1, it will change a lot, and this is what happens. All right, so here we have different options. We can rotate, we can repeat in U and V, as I showed you before. We can also go to the bands and reverse the colors, then the result that we will get will be different. You see, you get something like that. I like it how it was. We can add more resolution. We can go to, just say, 0.6. Let's see what do we get. You see that the resolution gets better and better, and I think that it's okay. I think that like this, I like what I get, what I see here. So I will do that. I get this one, and I will apply the same to this one. So again, so you can see it twice. I go to Texture 3D, Object is asking me where to apply the texture. I'm saying to this surface, and now it will pop up the window with all the different textures. I will select the same one. Of course, that because this surface is longer, maybe the result will be a bit different, but still I can go to 1 and 1, and I will also change the mesh resolution to 0.7 and be sure that everything is fine, and enter. Perfect. All right, so now we have texture. So, you know, we have now here a nice decoration that it's, you know, it makes this piece a bit different. Okay, now let's gonna introduce you another new tool, that is the Gem List on Curve. let me go to the gems. Okay, so now here we have the two new tools, the gems between two curves and the gem list on curve. This is the one that I'm going to use now. Just imagine that your customer has like different stones that he wants to fit in these earrings, and he has two of each different dimensions. So let's try to do something like this. So I go to the gem list on curve, and now I select this curve and I make it smaller. Just say that we have 1.5. Let me go here to edit. You see, this is the box where you will have the list with all the stones. So I go to edit, and I will say from the size list that the ones that I have are 1.5. Done. Save gem to list. So now I have the 1.5 in my list, and from these dimensions I have 2. Then I have another dimensions that are just 1.4. So I go to 1.4. Done. Save gem to list, and I also have 2 of these. So I select this size and I increase it. And again, what I will do here, I will add 2 more of 1.5. So I click on the plus button, I go back to the 1.5 and save gem to list, and I select this and I add another one. Okay, so now we have, very easy, we can go back, edit at any time. So just say that you want to edit these ones to 1.6. We can go to this one, click on edit, and instead 1.5 we can say no, this is 1.6. We select 1.6, and there we go. So now these ones are a bit bigger. So we just added the stones that we had from our customer into this curve. Okay, so this is what I was trying to achieve. And you know, because we have the cool thing about MatrixGold is that you have, once you have all the steps here, you can edit this at any given time from many different ways. If you remember, I just trimmed the curve, so if I go back to the curve, that is actually this one, I still can play with where do I want these stones. So if I want this stone to end more here at the top, of course depending on the dimensions that we have, but as you can see I can move them wherever I want. So this is what is very cool, because you know, as any designer, while they are making their designs, you always want to go back and forward to achieve what you are really looking for. Alright, so what I will do here now is just very easy. I will select all the stones, I will just group them. Okay, group. And what I will do next is just from settings, our prong placer. Just one click and we got it. Alright, so I will do also the cutters. And I will do the Boolean. Anytime that you have any question, please type it in, because Bo is looking to all the questions that you have, and he will very kindly reply all your questions. So anytime that you have any doubt while I keep designing, please ask us or whatever you need to know. So I will do the Boolean difference between this part and this part. Okay, so the first part is done. Very nice. So we still, because everything is linked to the very original curve, at this stage we are still able to make any change that we want. If we want to make this part wider, I just need to go back to this profile and make it wider. Just keep in mind that this texture is relying on the surface that we have from this Boolean that we have done, but because we also have the record history from Rhino, everything will follow. So the surface also will change, and the texture will adapt to the new surface. All right, so everything it's easy to change, easy to edit. Now let's go for the second part of these earrings. So I will get this curve and I will rebuild it. Rebuild. 8 points is okay, because what I want to do now, I broke the history between these two curves. I'm okay with that. So I select this curve and just say this curve. It's not anything specific that I want to do here, but just something like that. Let me take the grid snap out. Something like this is okay. Alright, and now what I will do again, I will go back to our friend, the profile placer, and now it will open up here, and I will use this curve to set up the height of this profile. Alright, so now I can go back to the same profile that I have been using here. I want to keep the same profiles to this design. I will go for something like that. And I will apply another one just here at the very end. And now from the surface what I will use is the sweep tool. These are the two curves and these are the profiles that we are using to have this sweep tool. And as you can see now, it's following like this wave that I have here, which is the reason to do this shape, because I want to show you more of the new tools that we have. And now what I will do is just go to from curves and I will go to the duplicate edge. As you can see, we have the light. You know that when we have the light on any of our tools means that this is dynamic and that it has history. So I will select this and this, and now we have, as you can see, the curves here. Alright, I validate. So I have two curves following just the edge of this sweep that we have done. And this is when I introduce you another new tool. This new tool is the from gems, the gems between two curves. Alright, so let's go to the gems between two curves. Because these tools are new, you know that you need to keep following what is asking you in the command line. So it's always telling you what is the step that you need to do. So select curves. So if it's the gems between two curves and it's asking me select curves, it means that I need to select two curves. These curves are already grouped because not this one, these ones, because is the ones that I took off from the duplicate edge. And look, in just one go, all the stones adapt between the two curves. As you can see, you will tell me, Oriol, these stones are upside down. This depends always on what direction the curves has. Alright, so if the curves are on the other direction, then the stones will change and go will be turned around. But we have here two different ways to do it. One is with the flip, but you don't need to use the flip, because if you use the surface, because it's very important to use the surface, because then always will follow, you know, the shape of the surface, the stones get in the right position. In the ones that we have been using here, I think that we were using 0.2 between all of them, not sure, but this is what I used to use, the distance between gems. I will do the same here, 0.2. I think that it was less. Let's go for 0.1. That's okay. But as you know, MatrixGold, very easily you can change anything and you can just check. Even we have done the Boolean. Let's gonna do the things properly and let's check. It was the gemstone curve. Let's gonna go to edit, and here from edit I can go to just edit the distance. The spacing, it was 0.1, so it's okay, just be sure. Alright, so even the Boolean is done. We can double check, we can make any change that we want. Alright, so it's just one thing left here, and is the prong placer. I go to the prong placer, and there we go, we have the prong placer. Of course that these prongs are not accurate here, but again, We are playing with a software that is parametric, and parametric is nothing less that allow you make any change at any time. So this is the start. We will move it a bit until we can add another stone. I'm okay with this. Alright, so look, the stones with very few effort has adapted to this nice shape. Again, what I'm missing here now is just the cutters. So I have the cutters, and I will do the Boolean again. Solid Boolean difference between this part and this part. All right. This is what I'm looking for. There is someone that is asking how I flip the stones. I will go back to the where I did this, that is the gems between two curves. Alright, so I go to edit, and the reason why I flip the stones is because I used the surface, alright, as a base. So because now it's hard to see here because this surface is totally flat, but there is sometimes that the surface is a bit it has different shapes, so it's not totally flat. So we want the stones to adapt to this surface even they are following two curves. So this is why when you add the surface, the stones gets the direction from the surface, and you don't need to go and flip them. They already adapt to the surface and gets the right direction. Even the direction that we had for the curves was putting the stones upside down. So just be sure that you add the surface with the gems between two curves here, and you will see how the stones always adapt to the surface where you are placing the stones. So most of the commands that we have for gems has the option to have the surface as a base. Always use that, because the result that you will get will be very good. In Matrix we used to have the MSR to adapt the stones to the surface. Now with this you don't need to take care about it, because always it gets the direction and it gets very well placed on top of the surface. Alright. Again, everything has done relying on the base curves that we have. Just keep in mind that maybe you are thinking, whoa, this is maybe too narrow, I want this part a bit more wider. I just select the curve and I have this point here. If I select this point and I move it a bit like this, MatrixGold is thinking, okay, there is here new reference, and everything, because it's linked to this curve, because we did the sweep tool, then we did the gems, everything has adapted in just one click to this new shape. So just imagine the options that you have to change anything, all right, because we have all the history here. So we have the total control all the time to this model. Okay. All right, so now so far we have done the texture, the gems on the gems list on curve, the gems between two curves. Now I'm going to introduce you another one, that is the smart pattern. So to make the smart pattern, I just need a surface as a base. How I can do that? Let me think. Look, what I will do, I will just take this curve here, and again I will use, how many times have we been using today the profile placer? I think that this is the most used tool that we have in our software. So I select this curve, and now I will just turn this 180, and again I will use the profile that I was showing you, that is this one. The only thing that I need now is something like this. I need just a base to put my texture. I'll put it like this. Okay, so I put one here, and this should be enough. Now I will use the sweep one, sweep one between this and this. Zero. Alright, so now we have a sweep one here. The reason why I'm doing this is because I will apply the new smart pattern. So you go to transform, and here we have the new smart pattern. What is the new smart pattern? The smart pattern allows you to decorate, or to, when you have very heavy rings, to hold them off, and you know, you can just make them much lighter, and then you can just cover all the inside part with these patterns. As you can see, we have all these patterns that you can use even to make textures that are like the ones that we were doing here. You can also use any of those. Alright, so we have, as you can see here, 95, and you see that the very last one, it says just a sphere. This is because I added this one here. So you can add your own ones. You can make any kind of shape, add it to the library, and then you will be able to reproduce it at any time to this surface. So select, let me call the library, and I will use any of those. I can use this one. So I double click, and now, as you can see here, I have 8 and 2 copies, but this is too much because this part is very narrow. So I just want one here, and I want half of this dimension, so I will go to 16. Let's see how does it looks like. I think that it's accurate. Alright, so I like this. Still, I can add like 20. And now what I will get is, you know, all this, and you can play here with the distance that you want in U, in B. If you want them overlap, you can rotate them. And then here you can also play with the thickness. Now the ones that we have are 1 millimeter. I don't know if it's too much, but I think that is okay. So you can go at any time, you can make it. If they are too heavy, then you can go back here and just make it to any size that you want. So I will get this, and I will add it to another layer, and I will hide it. So this is what we get now. I will also hide the curves, so you can see what I'm trying to do. And I'm almost done on this part, because now what is left is just select this part, and we will use the mirror. I will use it like this. I click enter. And now you will see how we get the earring that will be finished. Alright, so it's a nice earring with the stones, everything. And now I will do something else. So if there is plenty of parts here. So we have textures, we have a smart patterns, prongs, we have many parts. So I want to bring this to printing. So let's gonna use the mesh repair, because, you know, this is just a shell that we have, and I want to put everything together. So now what we have is, in manufacturing, we have the mesh repair. Select objects, so I want all these objects plus this, and this, and I click enter. So now what we are doing here is there is different steps when we are using the mesh repair. The first step is we are just bringing all these parts to mesh, and you can also set up, you will see now that with the different parameters that we have, you can set up what resolution do you want for this mesh. And then you also have the output that you want to get from that mesh. So you have two different settings that you can play with to get the right definition, all right? So now what the mesh repair is doing is trying to find out if there is any hole. If there is any hole, it's trying to fix it and cap it. and then we will get, you will see how we get in blue a result from this mesh, and then with the different parameters that we have, then we will be able to, to see. Now we have this in blue, and here is where you see the settings that I was telling you. So the input mesh tolerance, if we go lower than this, it means that we will be getting all these parts and getting even a more deeper mesh. And then the output mesh tolerance, if I go to now 0.01, I will get more resolution. Something very important that I need to tell you here. You see all these parts that you see here, you will tell me, Oriol, that it's not accurate. This is something, the way that we paint this mesh. So once you print and cast this, you will see that the result from the printing and the casting, it's very, very good. All right, so even you see these little like cuts here, this is the way that, and this is something that we will improve in the future, because sometimes this can give you something that is not real, so you are not going to get all this texture here, so it will be flat and very, very accurate. All right, but now, as you can see, you are getting the right mesh, everything together. So let me just select the mesh. Now it's just getting the result. There we go, mesh. I can move it here. And you see, this is ready to send to print. You don't need to worry, the quality is good. You send it to print, and a very light model, but quite big. So all these little, or not little, these big new improvements that we have done in our software helps you, to do very, very different designs. Just imagine, with all the tools that I have been using, the different results that you can get, and it helps you, to get very, very personalized designs. And this is what we are trying to with MatrixGold. So just to give you the freedom to do anything that you want with all the tools that we have now, and with all the parametric power that we have, you can get a lot of different results with very, very easy with MatrixGold. All right. So I will get rid of this one, and what I would like also to show you, that if we go to the collections, we can go here to the collections, and we have the findings, and here in the findings you have parts that you can use to, I go to import, just always click in import. If I open, I will remove this one, and I will just open that part. So I go to import, and I import this part to, to have a nice presentation for our customers. So I will just place it in the right spot. Okay, so this is a nice ring that you can sell. And now I'm going to show you something else that we have been working. All right, I will try to do it as fast as I can, because it's related to the render. All right, and it's what we call the alpha channels. Let me just hide this one. Okay, so what are the alpha channels? So here there is a couple of things. Let me just go and use the render. I use the render, and actually I won't do the renders because I have it already here with this photo editor software that I have. But now what you can do is, when you go to the render studio, there's two new things that you can do. All right, so just let me go to the materials and apply to this one and to this one. Let me ungroup that one. All right, so now this one and this one, I will group them, and I will apply here yellow gold. All right, so let me go to render. So as you can see, I have this in yellow, but maybe this yellow is a yellow that you don't like it. You like a yellow, more yellowish. So this one is too white. So you can go to the render materials, click on this yellow gold, and let's go for something. Now I will go, too much. I know that is too much, but it's just to show you. So once you have this one, what you can do is just save it. All right, so save material. It will be the webinar yellow gold. And now if I want to apply, just to show you, to this texture, the same material, what I can do is just go here, and this will bring you to the, just let me move this window. You see, this is where we have all the materials, and here I should have the yellow gold webinar. I open this one, and now what I will do is just select this and apply it. All right, so now you can save your materials. This is something that many customers was asking for, and finally we have it. I will also apply it here. All right, so this one, okay. All right, so now you see this is something that is very, very convenient. Then something that is very, very important now. As you can see here, these are the materials that we are using. You know that in rendering, one of the, let me call it problem, I don't know if it's a real problem, but one of the problems that you have is that sometimes the stones need some styles and the materials need other styles. So now with alpha channels, what you can do, just let me apply the white here. What you can do with alpha channels is just say that for for the metal, the interior is the style that I like. All right, so I already applied this one. So what I can do now, you see, this is the interior one because I get all these different reflections here. So what I can do is just go and use the, let me go to the render material. So now I don't want the stones, all right, so I go to the stones, and here what I can do is just the toggle visibility. When I do like that, what I'm saying is that I can take a picture just of the metal, all right, and I'm hiding the stone. So when I click on the render, sorry, let me just click here. When I click on the render, what I will get now, you will see that now I'm just uploading all the parts from this part, from this design, and I will start the render. All right, so I'm getting the reflections from the interior, okay? And now what I will say is just 150. It's a very low quality render. But now when I'm going to save it, what I will say is just I want the alpha channel. All right, so I save it like this. The diamonds, why they come out here? Just let me do it again, because probably I didn't apply the materials to the diamonds. That's the problem. So let me just do it again for you. It will be very easy. Apply material to objects. All right, toggle visibility now is on. So these are the ones that I apply it, and again I will do it again. So I toggle visibility, I put it off. I didn't apply the material to the diamonds. This is the reason that they didn't went off. So again I apply the render. It's uploading all the parts from this design, and the render will start. Then what I will do, I will click on the alpha channel and I will save it as a PNG, and I will show you why. I'm doing something wrong here, and I think that I won't be able to take this out. Let me check. All right, these stones I must get another material from here. Gems. Okay, diamond, add material to object, render material. Okay, this is the right one. Now I hide this one. Okay, now I think that now will be okay. I was using the one from the style, not the one from not the one from that I applied to the stones. So now should be okay, because every time that you use one style, you get all these materials, and I was using that one, and that was the problem. You see that now the diamonds are already different. So this is what we are looking for. And now I will show you how the alpha channel works, and I will show you the results that I did before I start this webinar, so we will go faster and you don't need to look to all what I'm doing here. So perfect is done. I just go like this, and you see I'm just removing the diamonds. I just keep the metal. All right, the reason why is because then you can do a lot of different options. So now I use the interior for the metal, and what I can do next is just I can hide, you know, this and this. I just can keep, and this, let me just go here and hide this, and I can go now to the, just say to the Matrix Classic, because I like the way that the stones looks in the Matrix Classic. I apply this new style, and again now I need of course to put the toggle on, and I just go and render again, and you will see that the stones gets a very nice result, because I am applying another style. All right, so you see the stones now, they don't have any reflection from the metal, so the stones are super white. So again, what I will do once I get the 150 passes, that this is what I have set up, I can do the same. I just go to like this. This is the stones that I get. Always keep in mind to save it as a PNG. If you save it as a PNG, then you get these results. As you can see, these are what I have been doing before. All right, so I don't need to go to all the different renders, so I can show you the results. So I cancel here, I cancel. Let me open the window where I have the renders, and I will show you. So this was in the test render, and I will bring you the window here, and these are not this one. I can get rid of this one because this is a JPEG, but if I click on that one, you will see the results that I got. Just let me bring it just here. You see these are the diamonds. I did also emeralds, I did rubies, and then I did, you see these are the white parts where the stone has been took off. So I have just the metal. The metal was with the interior, and the stones was done with the style matrix, if I'm not wrong. Why I'm doing that? Because then I can go to any photo editor like this one, and as you can see, these are the pictures that I was showing you. So you can use any photo editor to put them together, and then you can start to play with all of them. So now I'm going to show you all of them. So this is one that I have done with a matrix style, if I'm not wrong. Then if I turn it off, you see this is with another reflections. You see the stones keeps the same because the stones has been done by themselves, but you get different reflections depending on what style you were applying to the metal. And again, with the stones, I have emeralds and I also have diamonds. So with just 5 renders, you get a lot of different combinations, because instead that one, now I can use this one. And then instead diamonds, I can get the emeralds, and I can get also the rubies. So very easy. You get this design, and actually it's pretty much the same that I have in MatrixGold. We have been lucky on that. So you know, you can get a lot of different results applying the alpha channels, and it's something that I believe people will love. All right, so far let's gonna do a recap on what we have been showing you using this model. So I have been showing you the texture 3D. I have been showing you also, I'm just showing you all the new tools that we have from the last release. I have been showing you the gem list on curve, that is this part here. We have been playing well also with a smart pattern. We have been playing with the gems between 2 curves. That's it's actually, you know, getting 2 curves, how the stones adapts to any surface. All right, so this is a lot of new tools that we have added to our software, and I believe that it helps a lot. Also that now I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna start a new one, because something that we have also been working with is, I will be short on that, is with the side profile from the signet ring. So let me get the ring rail, and then I will go for the tools and the signet ring. So this is something that the people was also asking a lot, and they were right, we were missing that. And we made a few changes. Something that I believe that it's very, very handy is that even you are just, you know, doing something like that, at any time you can see the curves. This allows you to already see what is the result that you are going to get. All right, so I want something like that. When I mouse up, then you get the geometry. So what we have add is this width at the very bottom. This is something that gives you, you know, a lot of freedom to make any shape. And the most amazing thing is, you know, what kind of shape do we want here on this side. So I can go to the side profile picker, and I have all this list. So I can check, I can get this one. But even better, what I can do is just go to the editor profile, that I can go from here or also from here. Let me just go from here. This is the one, and you will see now how I have the profile editor, and now any change that I do, I will apply it in real time to the signet that I have. I don't think that I'm gonna sell a lot of these designs, but it's just to show you, you know, how easy it is to make or adapt anything. So you have this, you can then anytime you can go and just play with all the other stuff that we have with the pull push. If you want to have here some cavity to add anything that you want, you can set up the width on this border, the height, all the other stuff that we already had, but we improve it a lot. The signet ring is something that the people use a lot, so I think that this will help many customers. It's this kind of quality of life tools that we keep adding, and we will keep adding in the near future to make this software the most popular software in the jewelry world. That is already what we have achieved. So as I said, very important to have this new tool to, you know, to get the shape that we draw, apply it to the side profile. Also keep always in mind that I think that this is something that I always like to say to everyone. It's very important to remind to everyone that MatrixGold has all the steps here. So now what I'm doing, I'm loading the file that I was working before I did this webinar, so I can send to anyone this file. They will have all the steps that I have done here, so they will be able to change anything that they want. So this is the first one that I did. So just imagine how powerful MatrixGold is becoming. So now every time we are getting more and more users. All these users are using these files that has all this information. So this means that everyone who has a MatrixGold file will be able to change the files from someone else. So the MatrixGold files will become like, you know, the main files for the jewelry industry when it's time to design in CAD software, because the information that you will have here will allow you to change anything at any time. So this is already happening many times. For us it's very easy. When people is asking us, hey, how I can do that, we just send them the file, people who's in our online academy, and we send them the file so they can see all the steps that we have done. They can change any step, and this is super helpful. And this is because we have all the parametric side here. All right, so I think that this is pretty much what we were willing to show you. Just as a reminder, keep in mind that now we have a promotion because we launched the software last week. So anyone who's interested in the software, please log into the gemvision.com, and they will find there the information to the sales representative from wherever they are. We sell this over around the world. And I don't know, Bo, I know that you have been all the time helping me with the questions. I don't know if there is anything that you would like to say.